What's up, Ada Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. Hope you guys are having a wonderful rest of your weekend. I'm definitely enjoying mine here. As a part of today's video, we're diving into the latest updates going on in Cardano. First and foremost, we'll review the network development highlights, breaking down some of the biggest updates. Then we've got some brief news surrounding the Cardano Summit, and then SUI getting adoption for USDC. Following that, we've got RWAs coming to Cardano through MMPRO Trust, and then some pretty big news when it comes to scaling here on Cardano, followed by news updates surrounding Binance, Xerberus, Apex Fusion finishing off their seed round, and then we'll close out today's updates by reviewing Fluid tokens, as well as World Mobile and MELD lending and borrowing officially going live. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, my goal is to help you find your way around the growing Cardano ecosystem through news, interviews, and tutorials. If you guys appreciate content like that, make sure to smash that thumbs up on the way in. If it's your first time stopping by, consider subscribing to the channel for more. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. Now, if you want to take your support a step further, I am also a single stake pool operator operating the official Dapp Central stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Right now, if you do join the pool, you'll earn your traditional ADA rewards, which can be claimed at any time. But in addition, you'll also earn the Sarah token, a DeFi sharing platform here on Cardano, as well as the Tokyo Pay token, a wallet infrastructure provider here in the ecosystem. Jumping right on in because we have quite a bit to cover here. Looking at the weekly development report, we have ongoing core work for technology improvements. We've got decentralization of signature orchestration in Mithril. We've also got planning underway for the second part of the Chain hard fork. I've mentioned this in prior updates. Keep in mind that Chain is a two-step process. The first, which is officially now done, which was introduced with Cardano Node version 9.1.0, basically bootstrapped everything for governance. So this means bringing online all of the tech, all of the underlying frameworks and tooling that we need to actually implement governance, but it's not all live just yet. So as a part of the last quarter of this year, we'll be getting the second upgrade, which actually turns everything on. And that'll be right around the same time that we have the Constitutional Convention taking place in Argentina with Charles Hoskinson there in person with representatives from all around the globe for the official signing of Cardano's first ever constitution. Next, we've got funding round number 13 for Project Catalyst, where the proposal submission phase has just wrapped up. Looking at the right-hand side there, I'll quickly just skip over some of those numbers, but we're seeing continued growth with delegated wallets, native tokens, and Pluto scripts executed on chain. Now, with the upcoming Cardano Summit, we've got the first ever announcement of this year's NFTs. So with every year or with every summit that's happened so far, the team has gone ahead and actually provided NFTs in commemorance or commemoratively, just to sort of remember the occasion, to remember the event. And this year they've gone ahead and basically brought on 25 talented young artists from across the globe to offer them a platform to showcase their creativity while also supporting their meaningful causes. If you guys want more information about this, I'll leave the link to this down below, but you can head over to the official NMaker website, where they break down all the details about this year's participants in their NFT and their artwork. Moving over, this was sort of just reintroduced back by Cardano Whale. So I want to take a quick opportunity to highlight it here, but we have the FTSE Cardano 100% staked index, which is supported by the FTSE Russell. So for anybody who isn't aware, this particular index includes both the underlying spot price return of Cardano and the staking rewards aggregated directly at a network level. So what they're basically doing is giving traditional investors exposure to Cardano's price action while also actually holding ADA and staking that and then returning or providing those returns back to their investors. Now we've seen, I want to say it's 21 shares put out a very similar ETP or an exchange traded product. And then I believe it was the Swiss 6 in conjunction working alongside Liquid, which also recently listed a Cardano-based ETP or exchange-traded product. So again, just want to share some of this news here. Of course, this was not just released recently. This is dated as far as back as September 29th of 2023, so nearly a year ago. But these are some of the investment vehicles that will basically allow Cardano to get to the masses moving forward. Now, speaking about adoption, we recently discussed here on the channel the fact that SUI had just gotten adoption for USDC, which sparked a conversation about why USDC was missing in the Cardano ecosystem. And I want to give a shout out here to the Minturn and BigPay, who basically did a little bit of investigating here and broke down the fact that it appears that Circle is a direct investor in SUI. So this makes perfect sense as to why SUI was able to sort of skip the line here when it came to USDC adoption. And maybe they did this early on, sort of understanding that this could have been a potential opportunity. So we have Andreessen Horowitz from A16Z, a venture capitalist or VC, which is also invested in SUI's tier 1 seed round, as well as Coinbase Ventures, Binance, and Circle. So you're looking at right there, I mean, the two biggest centralized exchanges, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, stablecoin issuer. And then you've got A16Z, a pretty well-known investor in the space, all backing SUI. And so again, this is sort of a perfect storm, but I think it makes perfect sense now in hindsight as to why SUI was able to get the adoption of USDC as quickly as they did. Moving over, we've got updates surrounding RWAs and Cardano. This is fresh off the press coming in from MMPRO Trust. And so they're expanding their RWA platform or their RWA shop to use Cardano's blockchain, where it reads, MMPRO Trust is excited to bring its expertise in RWAs to Cardano's high-performance blockchain. This initiative will enhance the secure and scalable RWA trading platform, leveraging Cardano's robust infrastructure to drive innovation in DeFi, as well as secondary asset markets. Now, with the success of MMPRO's RWA store, they're now building on Cardano's blockchain to unlock new opportunities for growth while also expanding in the digital asset space. The future of RWAs is set to evolve on Cardano's reliable and secure, as well as scalable platform. So again, we've seen the fact that BlackRock has basically doubled down on RWAs. We've seen RWA specific blockchains like Ondo coming about. And we've also seen protocols building and bringing RWAs already into Cardano. We've seen NMaker partnering up with Emergo in a big push towards bringing more adoption and inclusion towards RWAs. We've seen Finest Investments also popping up with their F Gold and their black tokenized granite. We've got Twin popping up with gold, silver, and palladium. And then we've got Emergo also partnering up with Kinka Gold to bring gold markets and RWAs into Cardano's ecosystem. Now, jumping over to the official MMPRO Trust website, I can see here the RWA store, which is mentioned, but scrolling down and just looking at their current deal portfolio, we've got pretty big names here, pretty big heavy hitters. We've got BitPay, we've got Animoca Brands, we've got MetaMask by Consensus, we've even got Public.com, we've got Ledger, Ripple, Kraken, and Circle. So again, pretty bullish to see a platform like this now adopting and basically putting a lot of trust in what Cardano has to offer. Now, jumping over to the next page here, we've got the RWA store, which of course is already built out, but it breaks down that you will now have the ability to invest in promising companies before their IPOs or their initial public offerings using digital assets or RWAs. Again, they break down some of the benefits of RWAs, the decentralization, the permissionless aspect compared to traditional investment methods, which are a little bit more limited. Again, it breaks down transparency, security, and liquidity, and then it breaks down exactly how all of this works. So it looks like right now it uses the Tunkeeper wallet. From there, you're able to get access to all of the RWAs within their store. You can then purchase them and then monitor your markets on secondary platforms. Next, we've got updates surrounding scaling. So this was just released by the official Sunday Swap team. Shout out to Pi here, who's been working day and night, not just on Hydra, but on Gummy Worm, which aims to use Hydra tech to make things a little bit more flexible, scalable, and just a little bit more adoptable. So it states here, Gummy Worm is a plug-and-play L2 specifically designed to scale Cardano DeFi. What it brings forth in terms of benefits include the fact that it's lightning fast, super cheap, and the fact that it provides instant finality. So jumping over to their official website here, they do have a demo But again, it breaks down the fact that this is built using Hydra, increasing transaction speeds while lowering transaction costs. And again, providing that instant settlement or that instant finality. So again, if you want to find out more about this, make sure to go ahead and check this out. But I want to quickly touch on the fact that we just have more and more options when it comes to scaling coming to Cardano. So shout out to Cardano Yoda posting about the fact that we are expecting Hydra. So we were able to see Hydra live in person at the recent Rare Evo event with Hydra on Doom, where we saw TPS hitting, I want to say, nearly millions. And that was all processed within 2 to 3 days. We've got Gummy Worm, which I just mentioned, coming out there from Sunday Labs. We've got Midgard, which aims to use ZK proofs, coming in from Anastasia Labs. We've got Leviathan coming in from, I want to say it's the Optum team. And then Hydrazoa coming in from George, who's got a pretty technical background, coming in from M Labs. So scaling appears to be the next sort of big focus for the Cardano network. Again, security being done, decentralization out of the way, governance officially done with SIT number 1694. Again, remember that we're waiting for chain number 2, but now it seems like the last thing on our plates in Cardano is scaling in speed. Moving over, we've got updates briefly surrounding Binance, but before we jump into those, if you're enjoying content like this, make sure to smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. And again, if you want to extend your support, consider delegating with the official Dapp Central Stake Pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Moving right on over, we've got more news surrounding Binance bringing on adoption for Cardano native assets. So this is coming in here from BigPay, mentioning the fact that the Cardano Foundation has been basically reaching out, contacting certain builders within the ecosystem and requesting that they reapply for their Binance token listings. Now, if you missed it, we have the founder of Binance, or the CEO right now, who's taken over CZ spot, jumping in and attending the Cardano Summit. So he'll be sitting down with Frederick Regard, the head of the Cardano Foundation, for a fully dedicated fireside chat taking place in Dubai. And so this sort of re-sparked or reinitiated a lot of the different commentaries around the fact that this might now mean that Binance is open to listing Cardano native assets. Right now, ADA is the only asset listed on Binance. And historically, we've been asking for it. But due to, I don't know what, I think it might just be volume, we haven't seen any Cardano native assets listed on Binance just yet. However, with these recent rumors, we've seen pretty big projects reapplying. So this also includes Indigo Protocol, right, which is a synthetics platform, by far the biggest protocol here on Cardano based off of TVL, which has now resubmitted its tier 1 exchange listing to Binance. We've also got Dedium following suit, relisting on Binance. And then if I'm not mistaken, the team from SNEC also announcing that they've relisted to apply to be listed on Binance. So let me know what you think down below. I mean, it seems right now that this is bullish. The fact that the Cardano Foundation is the one reaching out lets me know that this is important. And of course, they're reaching out to the biggest projects. So I don't think that every single Cardano native token that applies to be listed will be listed. But I definitely think that, you know, maybe the top 10, the top 15, some of the biggest protocols that we have here in terms of volume generation and trading volume, those are going to be the ones that most likely get listed because, again, Binance wants to make sure that they're able to bring in more users to their platform. And if they're able to do so by listing Cardano native assets, they're going to list the ones that are going to make the most noise or bring the most attention. Moving right on over, we've got Xerberus, which continues to expand. If you missed my update surrounding Xerberus, they're now launching their own blockchain. But with that, they're also bringing what they call Xerberus Index Vaults. So this is a comprehensive solution for passive investments, all taking place in the ADA or the Cardano ecosystem. In terms of what these vaults are, they're basically curated, diversified portfolios designed for you or for me as a crypto investor. So it allows for you to invest in a range of assets within one vault, which can minimize risk while still participating in the broader ecosystem. This team has already worked alongside the team at Matera, launching a short-term index and a long-term index, which both have greatly outperformed the performance of ADA, meaning that if you would have had exposure to these indexes or these indices, you would be up, right? As opposed to just holding traditional ADA. So if they're able to continue to sort of outperform the ADA market, what this basically means that you're able to passively invest, reduce your exposure. You don't have all of your eggs in one basket, And you're also still outperforming Cardano, which if Cardano's outperforming Bitcoin, you're really sort of getting a high beta play without necessarily having to use any leverage. So there's a full breakdown here of the different types of vaults, what they'll be composing of. It states here that they'll include large cap assets, DeFi tokens, sector specific baskets, and then it also breaks down how exactly this will work, some of the risk assessments and security, and then the fact that the vaults basically just give you broad access to numerous assets within the ecosystem. So this is just one piece here. Again, this team will be bringing out its own blockchain. And if you want to basically participate or operate a node, you can pick up one of the Xerberus NFTs, which right now are trading, I believe, on JPEG Store in the Cardano ecosystem. Again, stay tuned. I'll have more coverage surrounding Xerberus over the course of the next couple of months. Moving over, we've got some big news when it comes to seed rounds closing out for the Apex Fusion blockchain. So Apex bringing the best of both worlds, EVM and UTXO together using Prime, Vector, and Nexus, 3 separate chains to make it all happen. So it states here, the interoperable blockchain network platform, also known as Apex Fusion, has now raised $6 million in their seed funding round by TRG Capital. Heading over to their official website here, we've got a little bit about the actual project. So basically a summary here, but we've got the lead investors in TRGC, where we see that in the month of October, so just this month, a total of $6 million for their seed fund has been raised, giving them a round valuation of $180 million. Again, I'm going to be providing more coverage about Apex Fusion moving forward. I think that this is a golden opportunity, basically similar to, for example, being an adopter of Cardano at around the incentivized testnet phase, where you're able to be rewarded by being an SPO for a brand new blockchain, which should theoretically be providing high yield, at least early on for about the first year or two, very similar to Cardano before mass adoption actually takes place. So to see that they've now been able to raise that funding, again, gives me more clarity, gives me more assurance that this team is just as close as we really think that they are to their mainnet launch. If you've missed it, right now they've got, I believe, over 85 different stake pools operating on their testnet. They will be providing some rewards to anybody who jumps in there early on. I'll have more content coming out about that, but definitely make sure to go ahead and tune in and stay up to date when it comes to Apex Fusion, as in my personal opinion, it seems that they are getting super close to releasing on the mainnet with their testnet currently up right now. And again, with this bullish news of their seed round closing, letting me know that they are still working in the background to make sure that everything goes off smooth without a hitch. Moving over, we've got updates coming in from Fluid Tokens with the first ever collateralization of F Gold taking place using their platform. So if you've missed it, we've got Finest, which has now brought on tokenized granite. They've also brought on tokenized gold into the Cardano ecosystem, where you can purchase gold through Finest by gram. Now, what somebody's basically done is they've taken the first ever loan using F Gold as collateral on the Fluid Tokens platform. So this is a traditional Cardano native asset, meaning you can basically trade it and keep it on a secondary marketplace, just like with any other asset. Now, what's amazing here is that somebody's basically taken a loan for ADA using 2 grams of gold without actually having to sell it. Now, they'll obviously pay interest before they return the ADA back, but in the event that they don't pay the ADA back, they'll default. Now, the person who's lent them the ADA at that point actually has the ability to claim the F Gold that's been put there as collateral. And if they want to, they can actually liquidate that and claim 2 grams of gold that they'll have in physical form, or they could potentially hold the F Gold token on chain and then sell that at a later price if gold does appreciate over time. So supremely bullish news there coming in, just with all of the different use cases and possibilities for brand new assets and RWAs. Looking a little bit deeper, we've got Fluid Tokens also partnering up with Genius Yield and order book style DEX building here in the Cardano network. And I'll have more content about Genius Yield coming down soon. So it states here from Fluid Tokens, we're partnering up with Genius Yield to improve the user experience on order book DEXs, and also to allow projects to provide liquidity while retaining staking rewards and their voting power. Moving over, we've got updates coming in from World Mobile. If you've missed it, Charles working alongside the World Mobile team, allowing them to use his Blackhawk to be able to basically lend help or to give help to boots on the ground or to people on the ground in North Carolina following Hurricane Helene. I just had Oceanic Goon, who's on the ground, who actually sort of spurred this movement, right? Asking the World Mobile team, can you guys take advantage of this situation and do something about it? The World Mobile team immediately responding, working alongside Charles Hoskinson to get the core team members out there. We've seen Mike here. We've got Emmanuel Gratch and a few other members. We've got Christian Reese there, who've all now landed in North Carolina, who've now set up air nodes, providing free connectivity to people impacted by the hurricane. Now, if you guys want to find out more about this, we did have a live stream yesterday, sitting down with Cal from Clover Nodes, Rob from TrekPool, to break down everything from Oceanic. Make sure to go ahead and check that out. But moving over, we do have the ongoing portal migration, which is still open until the 21st. So make sure to go ahead and migrate your WMT to WMTX. But if you want to go ahead and if you maybe have WMT on another blockchain and you want to bring that to Cardano, there's now the brand new Singularity Net bridge, which is now open, allowing for the bridging of WMT and WMTX. So again, if you're now working within Cardano and you want to bridge out to, for example, ETH, you can now do that using the Singularity Net bridge. Similarly, if you have WMTX on ETH and you want to bring that over into Cardano, you can go ahead and use the bridge to do that as well. Now, one thing I would love to see is support for Base and BNB, but right now the bridge I believe is for Cardano to ETH or ETH to Cardano. And then of course you got the migration portal, which will allow for you to migrate to other networks after upgrading to WMTX. And that includes the Base ecosystem, the Binance network, and then it also includes ETH. That'll do it here for updates when it comes to World Mobile. Here we've got the official bridge platform. We've got the platform to upgrade your WMT to WMTX. And then we also have the bridge coming soon for your Earth node NFTs. As we get ready to wrap up today's updates, we'll close out here by reviewing the fact that lending and borrowing is now live for MELD. So the time has officially come. You can now enjoy the long-awaited lending and borrowing protocol for the banking stack, which has been building for the last couple of years. So this basically breaks down everything that's available. Right now, it's up at app.meld.com. From here, you can view all of your existing positions. Again, you can see how much you've supplied, your borrow power, your yield boost rewards, and your banker rewards for your NFT. And then on the right-hand side, you can actually plan for your yield. You've got vaults, the saturation, the utilization, the risk model, and the actual performance of said vaults. Now, scrolling over, you've got the ability to supply. So you can now supply ETH, AVAX, Bitcoin, ADA, USDT, or USDC. And that'll allow for you to begin earning a yield, just like with a traditional savings account. And then from the borrow side of things, you've got the ability to basically borrow numerous assets across all of those different blockchains that I've just mentioned. So shout out to the MELD team. This was long awaited. It's finally now live, but that'll bring me to the close here for today's Cardano Scoop, breaking down everything from Binance to scaling to RWAs, Apex, Xerberus, Fluid tokens, World Mobile, and MELD. If you found any portion of today's update to be helpful or insightful, or if you just learned anything along the way, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure to leave those down below. That said, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.